Now in this lesson, we'll discuss how to include the elements inside the links. We want to include the parameters and the instances inside the links in our schedules, and we'll discuss some other fields for the schedules. Let's create a wall schedule. We want to include the elements in links. By default, it's not checked. We want to check it. And we want to add a parameter from this tab, select available fields from, select the Revit links. Here you can see that we have different areas or different pools we can put parameters from or insert our parameters from. So we want to select the Revit links. Let's add both of those. And we want to go back to the walls and select the type mark, maybe the area, wall location. We can rearrange the parameters by moving them up or down. So we want the type in the beginning, then type mark. Location can be before the type. And let's click OK. Now if we drag this to the right, you can see that the Revit link file name and the Revit link name are blank in these areas for these instances. If we scroll down, you can see that here are the values for them. Only the elements from links have a parameter value for the links parameters. So whenever we have a Revit link, we do not have a value for the instances inside the project we are currently in. Only the linked elements. For a start, we want to exclude the walls that are not internal. So if we go to filters, go to this wall location parameter, and we want only to show the in. This one is showing us the parameters that are inside the project or inside the building. We can see that we do not have a value for the finishes. So we want to remove this wall location and we want to check the type mark, and we want to use the contains operator and type WF. When we type WF, as you can see that we have these walls right here. Again, let's go to the sorting and grouping. We want to sort by type mark and remove the itemize every instance. Now we have every different wall finish inside a different row. Let's go to formatting as we did earlier. If we select the area and then select calculate totals, we'll have the different area of these wall finishes. Now, here's the thing that this will not be necessary in the project. This column is not necessary, and also this one and this one. So we can do one of two things. Either delete them, and we can delete them from selecting this tool right here, or we can hide them right here, or we can just remove them from the fields. It's the same as if we deleted them. And here it is. So now we have the elements inside the links included. If we notice these finishes again and we remove this checkbox, you can see that WF3 have a lesser value than what it had when we included the links. Now we want to create a door schedule to discuss more fields inside the Revit schedules. So if we go to the schedules again, right click and create a new schedule. This time we can select doors. There's also another option that we can do a filtered list. From this one, we can check the categories that are related to the different disciplines we want to show. Here you can see that we have everything, show all. I want only to show the architecture. So this will make navigating through the schedules or the categories easier. Here are the doors. Let's click OK. Let's include this parameter. This is a custom parameter. It indicates the location of the door. So we have multiple buildings. So I want to indicate the doors of every building. So this will allow us to group the doors of every building. And we want to add the type mark, type and location, width in the beginning, then the height, and we want to add the count. Let's bring this down. So let's click OK. Here is the doors inside the project. I want to sort them by the building for a start. If I click OK, you can see that the building is alphabetically sorted. If we go to blank line, this will make the navigation easier and it looks cooler. Let's go to sorting and grouping again and sort by type, then remove the itemize every instance. Here you can see that every building have the doors. We can see that we are missing the auditorium building. Let's go to the include elements in link, and here it is. Now in this project we do not have the parameter set. It will have us to open the link and change it, and if we reload the link we'll have it right here, but we'll not do this for this lesson. So if we see the types right here, we can see that some duplications in the type. So for example, here are W2, WD2, and here you can see WD2. Here you can see the sizes for each door, the width and height, and you can see also the count. This link is confusing us with the values. Also the type mark is not correct, so I want to just not include it for this example. Now you can see that the type mark is something that is very useful in creating schedules. So for now you can see that I'm not naming this properly, but I'm separating it nicely using the type mark. AL means this is an aluminium door or a door that's inside an aluminium framing or a curtain wall system. WD, this indicates a wooden door. So for this schedule, I want to hide the type, and then I want to do something that's a little bit related to the quantities. So we want to calculate the total area of the door. So for example, you can see that these are the aluminium doors. Actually, I don't want them to be included. You can see that this is 3.4 meters, which is so wrong. You can see if we check it from the project, it's right here. So this is another type of use for the schedule. Again, we're using it to check our work. So I have to create a curtain grid, for example. I want to make it, let's go right here. I'd like to use the section box tool or a box, and going inside here you can see that this is the issue. So I want to match the properties of this panel to this panel, and actually raise this for 2 meters, for example, or 2.3, and this will be changed right here. Also, you can see that this is taking the center of the grid, so the mullions are having an offset up and down. Anyway, we don't want to include this in our schedule. So let's go to the filter and select the type mark. And we want anything that begins with WD. This is another way to use the schedule. So anything begins with WD is what we want to include. Here you can see WD1, WD4, WD3. Everything is only the wooden door that are showing. Now I want to discuss, as we said earlier, how to create the area parameter. Now for the doors, we do not have such a parameter. If we go down, you can see only these are the A's. We don't have anything related to area. So there's a concept inside the Revit schedules that's called the calculated value. So a calculated value is a formula that we create by doing an operation, simple or complex, to the parameters that are inside the schedule that we're working with. So to do this, we want to go to this symbol and add calculated parameter. If we select it, you can see that we have this name of this tool, calculated value. Here we have a name. This indicates the name of the parameter we have. So we want to call it to be specific door area. And we want to keep it as a formula. Then we want also to keep it as common. Does not matter for us. Also, we want to keep the discipline to common. Does not matter for us. And now the type, we want it to be an area, because length by width, it will equal an area. So let's put it right here. The formula will be something very simple. We want to include the name, this one, width, multiplied by height. So we have to write it exactly as it is, since it's a case-sensitive operation. And then click OK. Here you can see we have a door area parameter. It's a calculated value. So let's click OK. And here you can see it. Here is the area, that's 1.7 meters squared, which is the sum of the multiplication of the width by height. And this applies to all the other doors or all the other types. Now, another setting inside the fields we can use is the combine parameters. Here's the tool right here. I want to combine the parameters of the building and the type mark. So to do this, there's another setting inside the fields section. So if we go right here, we can see that we have this combine parameters. If we select it, you can see that we have the parameter type. It's doors for now. And we have the schedule parameters. These are all the parameters that are available to the doors. And we can put any parameter from here to this side. So for now, I want to combine the building and the type mark. So to do this, let's go to the building right here and to the type mark. And you can see that we have this name of the parameter. We have a prefix and suffix options. We have a sample value. This will not be of use in the schedule, but it's there anyway. And we have a separator. Now I want to remove this separator, the one after the type mark, and I want to change this to a dash. And let's click OK. Here you can see that this is the name of the combined parameter. Let's click OK. Here you see that we have the administration-WD01, which is the combination of these two parameters. And the separator is always the same, regardless of what's the values right here. I want to put a space for this separator, so we can go again to the fields select this one, the combined parameter. Let's edit the parameter itself and put a space right here and a space right here. Click OK again, and you can see it's nicely separated with spaces.